Is up. How's it going, YouTube? Make sure to hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe as you guys are starting to join up in. If you're over here on TikTok, make sure to repost the live, share the live, do all the wonderful things. Try to get to 1.5 thousand likes. Show some love to Jinxie while he's up here. Danny over here tells us that he supports Donald Trump. Go ahead, take it away. Why do you support Trump?
So I think that Trump reducing the price of cheese pizza to $25 is actually probably a good thing.
That took me a while to get. That's disgusting. How's it going?
Hey, how you doing?
Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, cool. Why is that? Why do you support Trump?
Because he loves niggers and chinks and Mexican sticks. All
Two very weird people. One of them talking about CP and the other one just slurring.
Oh, that's what that guy was talking about? I thought he was actually talking about cheese pizza.
No, referencing Hulo and the $25 max meme that's been trending.
Oh, that's absolutely disgusting. Danny, get out of here, bro.
Right? And it took me a while to realize that. That's why. Wow, that's terrible. People like that should be investigated, quite frankly.
Yeah. Where'd you get your boom arm from?
Amazon. They came with a mic too.
That's fire.
Yeah, it's pretty chill.
Yeah, you should send me the link.
I got you. It was like 45 bucks. I think it was relatively cheap. Why do you support P3DOs? Yeah, that's you, buddy.
Yeah, that's you, mosh pit.
I feel like I know this. How's it going?
You need to be deported. You're a piece of shit. Fuck you, faggot nigger.
Jarvis, why are you trying not to laugh?
Because
I saw that smirk.
At first, it was just a child, and then he slurred. I thought it was a child that just tells me that that I need to be deported. Why you need to do better? Your parents need to do better. Actually, they need to do better raising you.
Yeah, I think it's past his bedtime, to be honest.
Right. Have you ever worked a real job?
No.
Yeah, I've never worked a real job, actually.
No, I actually freeload up the government, to be honest.
Yeah, I get like $5,000 every month off of food stamps and Medicaid. And free housing. Yep.
Yeah.
I gotta China and get my paycheck from the communists. You guys support Trump, join up in the guest box. There's like 30 people in here. Make sure you guys hit that follow button if you haven't already. Repost the live, share the live, do all the wonderful things. Try to get to us to 1.5 thousand likes and show some love to Jinxie while he's up here. Follow. Make sure to gift him if you're ever on YouTube. Hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. Link tree in the description of the live stream and in my bio over here on TikTok to join the community. I have my Discord there, my YouTube, Twitter, Threads, all of the above. I'm everywhere. How's it going?
Yeah, I support Trump because I love the Jews and I hate the niggers.
What is with the people you got today?
Right? He also thought that was funny.
Yeah, like you could hear his smile. That's kind of weird.
People are weird. Today, I'm telling you, today is a weird day when it comes to debates. Today is a very weird day.
Is it just today specifically, or is it like Wednesdays?
What I've seen, it's today specifically from like also larger creators too. Yeah, make sure you guys are double tapping that phone screen. Spam the comment section as well. That helps it gets pushed out. Repost the live, share it to a couple people. Someone on Twitch said, "Love your streams. Hope to catch you live next time." I'm confused. There should be no one on Twitch. Why is there someone watching on Twitch? Well, Twitch cannot see this. They can only hear this. Twitch has no access to the visuals.
That's actually kind of fun, I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know why they can't see this. Let's see.
I think part of the terms of service on Twitch is like you can't do anything political because there's minors on there or something. I haven't been on Twitch in like years though, so don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I think it's I'm using OBS. That's why.
Oh, that would make a
Trying to
lot of sense.
multi-stream. Oh no, I'm using Restream on OBS.
Yeah.
Let's see. Thank you for the follow, Will. How's it going, y'all? What's the news? Oh, they released the alleged unaliving note of Jeffrey Epstein a couple minutes ago, like 30 minutes ago.
Oh, really?
Yep. They released that. Thank you for the follow, Hanner. Hanner. It's breaking news. Well, we also have the hantavirus. Now in Switzerland, it's South Africa as well. And then 2 passengers that were on the cruise are in Georgia. They're saying it's low risk to the public, so there's also that. Nobody here supports Trump in Ireland. W Ireland. W Ireland. Love Trump because he can't be bought. Oh god,
Yeah.
you're a little Russian bot, bro. I can't even send you an invite.
Oh, I
Maybe
see
the
it.
repo sleepy. If you guys support Trump or this administration, join up in the gas box.
Bro, why is his handwriting so like buns? Like actually.
Oh, you're looking at the note.
Yeah. This is like really bad handwriting.
That's the.
The only thing I can read is the first part and that like end, and it's only because they typed it out what it says.
Right. I think you can find some like news stations at Reddit. The only president that gets this job done, brother, you're just a Russian bot. Get out of my live stream or come up and debate me.
What artists do you mess with, Jeremiah?
None. I mean, I listen to music not all the time. I listen to, I guess, whatever the vibe is.
Oh, okay.
If you're over on YouTube, there's a poll running over on YouTube. Make sure to go vote in that poll. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe. We're trying to get debates on here over here on TikTok because we are finally gaining support from a president that cares for its citizens. I sent you an invite before to come up.
Cares about his citizens, but like starts a conflict that raises gas prices and raises the grocery prices.
Quite
That's
literally.
beautiful.
Epstein Files is a Democratic hoax. I love Trump and Israel. Okay, how's it going? Do you support Trump?
I love Donald Trump. He is one of my heroes.
How old are you?
28.
Why do you support Trump?
Well, I think there's many reasons. One, he's my hero. I think Donald Trump, all of the amount of businesses that he succeeded at and made successful.
He didn't make them. He just put his name on it. He just branded it.
So why don't you put your name on businesses then?
His name is what carries value. It's not going to be the
Yeah,
business.
because he's a successful man.
Right? No, it's because he literally just
He's the
pays to
hero.
get his name put like on airports. For example, the airport that they're trying to rename, right? The passports, just putting his face on the coins, right? On the bottle of water that he used to sell, and the university just slaps his name on anywhere.
So what?
Billionaire.
So what?
So he doesn't really have
Because
successful
wait,
businesses that he created.
can you repeat your last sentence?
He doesn't have any successful businesses
No,
that
I
he
said
created.
no. That wasn't your last. No, the one before that.
The
Because
water
he's a
bottles is-
billionaire. He's a successful billionaire.
Can you name me any other successful billionaire with 7 bankruptcies or 6 bankruptcies?
Donald Trump never was bankrupt.
Besides Donald Trump.
He was never bankrupt.
Yeah, he actually did go bankrupt a couple of times.
Says who?
He bankrupt
No, he didn't.
casinos. Yes, he did. Like, you're
No,
just
he didn't.
denying facts and reality.
I can name off what he went bankrupt.
That's a fake. Yeah, it's a fake fact.
Wait, can I name the businesses that went bankrupt that Trump slapped his name on?
You could try.
I can't pronounce that actually. Trump Castle Associates, Trump Hotel and Casino Resorts, Trump Entertainment Resorts, Trump Airlines, Trump Mortgage, Trump University, Trump Steaks, and then there's something else, but I can't pronounce it.
I eat Trump steaks every night.
What?
It was
Donald Trump steaks and Donald Trump water.
That doesn't like dispute anything that Jinxie said that Donald Trump has bankrupt multiple businesses.
So I don't think the steaks are bankrupt. I love Donald Trump steaks.
Okay, I mean, why are you just bootlicking a P3DO?
Who? I don't support
You.
Biden.
No, you support
Oh.
Trump. That's why you're bootlicking.
Yeah,
a P3DO.
I don't think. I think he's a good man.
You think rapists can be good men?
I don't think he is.
Well, a jury found him liable of forcibly penetrating Agent Carroll's.
What about Joe Biden?
Joe Biden was never found
Bidenism?
civilly liable.
Yeah,
He was sniffing-
Bidenism. Hold on, that's
he was
Biden. We're not gonna
sniffing
allow.
children on
Hold on.
camera.
We're not gonna allow Bidenism. That's a logical fallacy. And so you try to name Biden, Obama, or Bill Clinton in order to pivot away from Trump, the topic of
Who
conversation.
brought up Bill
So,
Clinton?
so that's called. But the point is, I'm giving you examples of what Bidenism is. You bring up other people to pivot away from Trump. We don't allow Bidenism. It's a logical fallacy. If you do it more than 3 times,
speaking
you
of
get
Joe
killed.
Biden, did you ever see the
Okay,
video?
that's your second. Yeah, that's your second warning.
Speaking
you
of
have one
Joe
more.
Biden,
You have one more warning before I disconnect. You stop talking about
You
Biden.
just
and
brought him
address the
up.
point. You were the
You
one
just
who
brought him
pivoted
up.
from Trump saying, "What about Biden?"
you said
Okay.
Bidenism.
Yes, that's a logical
You have
fallacy
an
that you
entire
used. You used
Ideology about him,
Yes, you use the
About
logical
Joe?
fallacy Bidenism. Yes.
and
Go
does
ahead
it,
and go ahead and
does it
explain
ever
why you
mention about him
support.
sniffing
Go
children?
ahead, go ahead and explain why you support
He
someone who
sniffed a
sexually
kid.
exploited children and women, and go ahead and explain to me why you support a rapist. Go ahead. One more chance.
I just
Don't
said
commit
no.
logical
I don't.
fallacies.
Wait, Jeremiah,
I
is
just-
it okay if I ask him a question?
Yeah, go for it.
So if Biden were to kiss a child, would you support him?
If Joe Biden if he kissed a child,
Yeah, if he kissed a child, would you support him?
well, but he sniffs them though.
That's not what my question was. Why are you dodging from my question?
Would you support Joe Biden if he sniffed a child?
That's a pivot from my question. And you're also dodging it heavily right now. Can you answer my question?
Can you repeat it?
Would you support Joe Biden if he started kissing children? Would you think
If
he's
Joe
a P3DO?
Biden kissed a kid,
Yeah, if he kissed multiple children, would you consider him a P3DO?
an allegation, or if he did it on live.
I think this should be a very clear answer.
Well, I mean,
I don't
if
know
you-
why it's taking. you
Obviously,
so
well,
long
if I
to
said that you
answer.
kissed a child and then said that there was no evidence,
No, if there was literal picture proof of him,
of course, yes. If there was literal picture proof, yes.
great, because that wasn't Joe Biden. That was actually Donald Trump. Donald Trump was the one who.
No, there's not. You're lying.
Yeah, I can actually.
No,
I can
no,
pull
you're
up the
lying.
pictures if you want. I can
Let
pull
him
up the
finish.
pictures
Yeah,
if you
let
want.
Jinxie finish.
I'm
I
sure
can
you
pull up
have
the
those
pictures if you
pictures. I'm sure you have AI pictures downloaded of this.
Oh, actually, I can run them through in an AI runner if you want me to.
No,
I can
you already
absolutely
put
do
it.
that.
You already did that.
Listen, man.
Yeah, and they tested. They tested negative.
They
Listen.
tested positive.
Listen, here's the thing, man. What I'm hearing is you commit logical fallacies to pivot away from Donald Trump being a rapist and a P3DO, saying, but Biden sniffed children.
He did. He sniffed a kid on one.
But my
sniffed
point
a
is, you
kid.
committed a logical fallacy to not address the things about Trump. And then Jinxie brings up the fact that Donald Trump did kiss children, right? And there's
When?
evidence of this. And he said if Joe
When?
Biden did
Where's
this, he
the
would be
evidence?
considered a P3DO. But
course.
since Donald
Of
Trump
course,
did
no,
it,
no, there's
you're
no
saying it's
evidence.
AI. Can you stop interrupting me? Do you have the capacity to control your emotions, little man?
I said, "Where's the evidence?"
Yeah, you said that while I was talking. Do you have the capacity of controlling your
Do
emotions?
you want to get slapped? You want to get slapped by my meat?
Guarantee you, if you were in front of me, you wouldn't do anything. You are a little man. Who
I'm a little man?
rapists. Yes, you are a little man who defends rapists.
I defend what?
You defend rapists.
No,
P3DOs, yes.
no, I
You
don't.
do. Yeah, then you support
When
Trump.
did I ever? When?
Your support for Donald Trump, who was found liable.
No, I said no. I said
raping
he's an
Eugene
innocent
Carroll.
man. How doesn't? I think it.
That's not what the jury found.
So, if do you think lawyers who defend people are rapists?
What the fuck are you talking about? No, I'm talking about the civil court that determined Donald Trump forcefully penetrating Eugene Carroll's vagina with his fingers.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Donald Trump is?
Eugene, who is?
You don't know who Eugene Carroll is? Yeah,
Eugene Carroll.
Eugene Carroll is a person.
Eugene Carroll.
Eugene Carroll.
That's a stupid name.
Cool. That's your opinion. Congratulations, little man. Keep that to yourself.
Donald Trump
Eugene
never
Carroll,
met her.
It's false, actually. Donald Trump claimed that he never met her, but Eugene Carroll then proved him wrong by showing a picture of them two together. So you just started pulling the same thing Donald Trump.
Do you mean Eugene?
You just got proven wrong.
Do you mean Eugene?
No, Eugene Carroll. I think you should put on your listening ears.
There is nobody named Eugene Carroll.
I think you should put on your listening ears and stop having your brain cells race for first place. Let's put your two brain cells together. Let's connect them together and have them stop racing for first place. And let's put our critical thinking caps on.
Nobody has that name in this country.
That's false.
So Eugene Carroll was a famous writer. So.
Eugene Carroll is a feminist. Alright, finish your sentence.
Eugene Carroll was a famous author, actually. So
no, she's not. What is she, like Harper Lee? She wrote.
What?
No, nobody's heard of this woman or this.
You're doing
man.
no honest.
I don't even think you're telling the truth. No one's heard of this man.
Hold on. Do you want me to? How much do you want to bet that he was found liable?
Donald and what? And a criminal case.
Mr. Trump sexually abused Miss Carroll.
No, look at you checked off no.
What is this? Can you read that right there? What does that say?
What about the first line?
Can you read that? What does this say?
Mr. Trump actually
sexually. Come on, let's use.
Well, I don't want to get your live taken down.
Okay, go ahead.
Abused Miss Carroll.
What does it say? Where's the check mark? Is it on yes or no?
Wait, hey, what about that line above?
Can you address? I can talk about this in a second. Is the check mark
line?
Just to be clear? Is the check mark on yes or no? Is the check mark on yes or no?
No.
It's on yes.
No, I don't see it. So why don't we take it back a second, my friend? Let's rewind.
You're just denying reality, genuinely.
So what? I mean, you could have done a better editing job. Let's go to the line that you skipped above it.
On this one?
Yes, let's read it.
Mr. Trump grape Eugene Carroll. They put no.
No, your large head is blocking it.
Yeah, they put no.
Mr. Trump grape the fruit. Miss Carroll. And it says no.
And then this one says yes, right? So this one, the first one says no. This one says yes, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Right. So the second one says yes, right? So the jury found Donald Trump.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does, right there. What does that say? That's a check mark for a yes,
no,
right?
Wait,
buddy?
so why does the check mark look different?
That's a great question. I will tell you. That's a great
now
question.
We changed the screen.
Right, because I'm not going to keep it up there forever. People have to know that we're debating a MAGA.
As soon as I pointed out that
I'll address
the
what
check mark. You edited the check mark.
What?
You edited the check mark.
No, I didn't. What?
Yes, you. So why'd you change it so fast?
You can go to Google.
Also,
can go to Google.
Jinxie,
put Eugene Carroll v. Trump. Hold
Jinxie,
on. Don't
why
pivot.
don't you be
Don't
quiet?
pivot. Don't pivot. Genuinely, just be quiet. You said why was he held liable for essay and not grape? The reason is because of the law. The law found grape to be in New York.
So you don't like laws?
Can I finish talking?
No.
Cool.
No, because you hate the law.
That's you. You voted for a convicted felon. What is Mar doing here?
Mar?
Why was Mar with my guest box?
Yeah, how's it going?
How's it going, Josh? Do you support Trump?
I'm like 50-50. I support a lot of the things you do, and there's a lot of things I don't support.
If you could go back in time, who would you vote for, Trump or Harris?
I mean, I would definitely vote for Trump because the alternative is a woman.
Cool. PJ, do you support Trump?
100%.
Cool. We have two people on here. We're going to do a little 2v2. Go ahead. Either or, take it away. Why do you guys support Trump? Well, hold on. Before that,
I mean,
make sure on YouTube hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. There's a poll. Check out the link tree in the description of the live over here on YouTube. Double tap that phone. Try to get the 10,000 like, repost, live, share, live, do all the wonderful things. Show some love to Jinxie as well with gifts and any that follow. But go ahead, take it away, either of you.
Yeah, I guess I'll start first.
Alright.
I'm not white. My ethnic background is Arab. My parents are from Yemen. I voted for Trump because I felt like there was too much immigrants in this country that I feel like America should predominantly stay a white country. I am Muslim myself. I know it's a little arrogant to say, but I do think this country should be a white Catholic country.
So you think this country should be a white Catholic country, and you also don't like women because you are the one who said that you're not voting for a woman, right?
I'm not voting. No, definitely not voting for a black woman. I mean, definitely that.
Yeah. That's not a good look on you, bro.
Yeah, it's not a good look. Listen, man. You're obviously misogynist. You're obviously spreading white supremacist talking points. Do you
That's the
support
thing. I'm a person of color.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're still spreading white supremacist talking points.
It's not.
Do you
It's
support
not
mass
spreading it
deportation?
for illegals. Yes.
Cool. What is one benefit of mass deporting quote unquote illegals? Go ahead, take it away.
What do you mean we want?
The taxpayers have got the fund out for the illegals that are here. And the reason why the illegals were here, let's keep this very honest. And one of the reasons why the Democrats fought so hard to include all of the illegals that Biden let in the 2026 test census so they could redistrict the congressional zones. That's why they would deport every single solitary time to stop that.
Sure. So PJ, what was your answer to my question? My question was, what is one benefit of mass deporting quote unquote illegal aliens? What's
saving the money?
Saving the money. Where? How do we spend money on them? Give me an example.
Public schools, hospitals.
Okay. Cool. Public schools and hospitals.
They're there eventually becoming citizens.
Those are both bipartisan, right? Both the left and the right think that no one should die and they should have access to the emergency room. And both the left and the right agree
now you're being disingenuous. Because the Republicans did not want mass importation of illegals of 10 million people in 4 years.
But my point is, you mentioned, hold on. No, I'm not. Because you said the benefit is that we won't have them using emergency rooms or K through 12 education. My point is, it's bipartisan. Anyone in this country, both the left and the right, agree that if they are in critical condition or they're about to die, they should have access to the emergency room. The left and the right
legal immigrants. That was the part you
and illegal immigrants.
And
illegal
immigrants. No. The Republicans are the ones saying we don't want the illegals here. We want everybody vetted.
Okay,
you're welcome to come here.
We're not talking about whether you want them here or not. We're talking about the ones that are already here.
The Republicans said they only want to find out the legal.
But you can agree.
The Republicans only want to find out the legal ones, not the illegal ones. There's a big difference.
If there is an undocumented immigrant in this country and they are dying, should they have access to our emergency rooms to save their life? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, they should. They should absolutely.
Precisely.
They should.
So then that's my point. Both the left and the right agree.
Your point is wrong because you allowed in 10 million people.
Can I finish talking? I'll address that point in a second. Can I finish talking? My point of what I was saying is the left and the right think anyone who's in here, whether it be illegal immigrants or legal immigrants, if they're dying, they should have access to emergency room visits. Now, the left wants to progressives, far left wants to provide mass amnesty, and the right wants to mass deport. Right? You're making the claim that Biden allowed 10 million undocumented immigrants. What is your proof for that claim? Why do you think Joe Biden allowed 10 million people, and how did he do that? What legislation did he pass?
He first of all, he stopped Title 39 down there, let everybody through. It came from DHS is the numbers it came from.
Okay, Title 39. What is that?
Was that not Title 39? Was that the one when he stopped it? They weren't allowed. Trump enacted the program down in Mexico, his first term. They weren't allowed to cross the border. I thought that was Title 39.
Remain in Mexico?
Yeah, Remain in Mexico program.
Remain in Mexico is for asylum seekers, not undocumented immigrants. Try again.
You come here seeking asylum. What do you have to come here with?
Asylum is legal.
You're going to file for asylum in your home country, could you not?
Asylum is legal. We're talking about.
No. It has to be justifiable, and majority of the people seeking asylum get thrown out, even during Obama was president.
Precisely, so but asylum is legal, so we're not going to talk about asylum.
Can you seek asylum if you come from Guatemala or from Venezuela? Can you apply for asylum in your home country?
I'm not going to allow this pivot because we're talking about undocumented entry. You made the claim that Joe Biden. Hold on. You made the claim that Joe Biden allowed 10 million undocumented immigrants into the country.
That's according to DHS.
Asylum seekers are not undocumented immigrants. Please prove your claim that Joe Biden allowed 10 million undocumented immigrants.
When you cross our border illegally, but you come here to seek asylum, you have to come through a port of entry. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Are they, if they are seeking asylum, are they here legally or illegally?
With your paperwork on you.
If they're seeking asylum, are they coming in here legally or illegally?
Illegally, if they don't have the form. If they have not filled out their form and they don't come through a point of entry designated
Which
by
means that they're not seeking asylum then. They're not seeking
no.
asylum.
When you come here seeking asylum, you have to fill out the form and you have to go through a port of entry. That's the law.
Right? I mean, there's also where after a certain amount of time, if you're once you've crossed the border illegally, you can also seek asylum as well. Right? So there's multiple.
Let me tell you something.
There's multiple ways as to how you can go about asylum. But the point is, asylum.
When Biden needed to change all that, let me finish. To tie it up in court. Wait. I want to address your point. See, when Donald Trump was doing it, they kept them in their camps, okay, until their cases were heard, okay, and that means they had to be expedited to get out. Okay, to have their stuff, in front of a judge. However, Joe Biden allowed them to go to hotel rooms, which delayed their process. But yes, it is. The New York City is making
asylum seekers or undocumented immigrants.
All of them.
Okay, undocumented immigrants don't qualify for any federal benefits, meaning that they didn't get any quote unquote hotel rooms. And stop talking about asylum
hotel rooms in New York?
If you're referencing some individuals,
we have a simple solution to solve all this.
If you're referencing asylum seekers, okay, sure. Can you prove your claim that Joe Biden allowed 10 million undocumented immigrants, people who did not
that's DHS. And again, when you see
what's your source?
DHS.
DHS. What's the title?
It's Department of Homeland Security.
That's actual that's the name of the organization. What is the title of the source from the Department of Homeland Security?
Look, I'm sitting on my iPhone. You can Google it yourself. I mean, this is not up for debate anymore. Both sides even agree to it. I mean, where are you debating here?
But the only thing
their disagreement is the right says there are 20 million people
whether or not Joe
Biden.
So the point
and the left
here,
says there was 10 million people left in. So
the point is here, The point is here, Joe Biden did not allow these people in here. He didn't say come in undocumented. Feel free to do so. If you want to reference, because you made the claim Joe Biden allowed them in. That's not true.
Who let them in?
If I could finish, I would tell you who. The reason why we saw an increase in undocumented entry is because of the global pandemic that caused insecurities in economies all throughout South America and all across the country, right?
You're joking me, right?
Are you denying that a global pandemic caused insecurities in economies all across the world?
In Mexico and South America, they're
all across South America, countries were experiencing the harm in their economy because of the global pandemic. Yes,
and so were we.
I have one simple solution. It's not simple, but I have one solution that could solve most of the problems.
That's great. We're going to talk about that in a second, but I'm talking to PJ here since you refused to answer my question earlier. Then PJ answered it. So PJ, yes, these countries did go through this, and that's what incentivized illegal migration. Also,
let me see if I understand your position. Let me see if I understand your position, right? Because I'm not too bright. So during the middle of a global pandemic. The Joe Biden administration decided that they were going to allow these people to come up from
South America.
Hold on, let me finish. It was his law that changed that.
No, what law? What law? What law?
The one that Trump instilled that stopped immigration the first time.
No, what law?
You
said he implemented a law. What law did he implement?
No. He cut off Trump's remain in Mexico.
Again, remain in Mexico is for asylum seekers. We're talking about undocumented entry.
They're crossing our border illegally.
You're not very bright. Yes, I can tell you're not very bright because asylum seeking is legal. Bright. You're the one who said it.
It's legal if you come to a port of entry with the document in your hand.
Not necessarily. You also have a year after you cross the border illegally to claim asylum as well.
No, you have to bring the piece of paper with you and go to a port of entry. That's the law.
Not necessarily. You can. No,
that's the law. Tom Holman and what's called the girl from New York had this fight on Capitol Hill. You can go watch it on YouTube. He told her point blank that she was full of BS and that they had to come with a form and they had to come to a port of entry. And even she had to shut up. And you're over here arguing the same thing. It's nuts.
All right, look, I'm about to jump into this. Let me just say the solution because I gotta go to the gym real quick. So this is the solution. That's going to solve a lot of problems. It's not that hard. Most of the Republicans support it. Democrats don't support it. We got to create a ray gun that just turns people into white Catholics, so we can just zap all these.
Sure.
Jesus Christ.
Back to you. So you were gonna attempt to clarify my position. My position is that because of this global pandemic and because of these economies in Southern America and all over the country, people were not able to be sustained in their own economies, and they decided to come in here illegally rather than a legal pathway, because the legal system is corrupt. It takes too long. It's too expensive. That way, so that means that they're incentivized to come in illegally. So that's my position on it. I think if we want to fix this issue of undocumented entry,
so the undocumented people that you say cross the border, none of them had background checks. None of them had health checks. So during a global pandemic,
documented.
Again, you allowed 10 million people, pick a number you like, 5 million, 10 million, 20 million, I don't care which number you pick. Okay? You allowed a certain amount of people into this country with no health checks during a global pandemic.
Again, not allowed. Didn't allow.
Didn't allow what?
Undocumented entry happens under every single administration. It happened under Donald Trump. It happened under
when
Joe
Donald
Biden.
Trump kept them in internment camps until their case was heard. Didn't move anybody to a hotel room.
No, undocumented entry still happened under Donald Trump's first term and including his first year and his second term.
Yeah, they absolutely did, and
Right.
were denied. They were denied asylum.
And
They were
Joe
sent home.
Joe Biden deported more violent criminals than Donald Trump too. Fun fact.
Well, that's not a fun fact, okay, and that's simply just not true.
According to the Department of Homeland Security, you can take or I guess ICE. You can take a look at statistics on the deportation statistics, and then you can take a look at that. In the fiscal year of 2025, only 5 to 7% of detainees under Donald Trump's administration have been violent criminals or have a violent criminal record. Right?
Oh, you mean
That's
like the
way
one
less
in
than Joe
Minnesota,
Biden.
like the one in Minnesota,
What?
like the guy in Minnesota.
Which guy in Minnesota?
You know, with Mrs. the girl that got killed up there, Mrs. Good or whatever her name was.
Yeah, Renee Good.
What exactly was ICE doing there?
What was ICE doing in Minnesota?
What was ICE doing at that specific time and date while they were there?
They were conducting an operation.
They were picking up somebody that they'd already picked up once, okay, and they asked Minnesota to hold them. Minnesota released him. He got out, committed a sexual assault on an American citizen, and they had to go back again because Minnesota
What does this
let
have to
them
do with
go.
anything I just said in the statistics that I provided?
Well, I don't believe your statistics. I will go look it up,
ICE.
though.
It's literally, you can look at ICE statistics.
Oh, it's funny how you were looking at ICE for that, but you don't look for ICE for how many people came through the door.
No, I agree that undocumented entry has decreased under Donald Trump, right? I agree.
Why
that more
were
liberal-
the
I
Democrats
agree.
fighting so hard to keep to get the undocumented people included in the 2026 test census? For what purpose?
Yeah, undocumented immigrants.
What purpose?
Can I talk?
Sure.
Undocumented immigrants are included in the census that happens.
Oh,
every
they
decade.
are, and how?
According
and
to the
why would
Constitution,
and
yeah.
why would the Democrats want that?
No, it's the Constitution, buddy.
Why? No, it's not. The Constitution doesn't apply to illegal immigrants.
Yes,
What
hold on.
would be
No,
No, it does not. The due process is the due
You
process.
just fumbled.
No, it
You just
doesn't.
fumbled big time.
No, I did not.
You said the Constitution does not apply to undocumented immigrants, right? This implies that the laws of the land, right, including laws of immigration, do not apply to undocumented immigrants, meaning they can't violate immigration laws, meaning they cannot be
1996
deported.
Immigration Reform Act by
No, you just
Bill
fumbled
Clinton
big time,
allowed
buddy.
for.
You just fumbled.
I know I did not because
Yes, you
the
did.
Constitution.
Can you
is
concede
for
and say that undocumented
Americans.
immigrants? No, it's
for
for people.
Americans.
It says people.
The Constitution.
People.
Does the Constitution apply to a citizen of El Salvador? No.
Yes, if they're here
No,
on
it
if
does
they're
not.
here on the soil, yes. If
No,
they're
it does
here in
not. That's
America,
why.
yes,
then
the
how
Constitution applies to them.
if that was the case in the
14th
Constitution,
Amendment,
how
buddy.
did Bill Clinton get the 1996 Immigration Reform Act passed?
What does that have anything to do with the
Because you
Constitution applying
can't
to
supersede
undocumented immigrants?
you can't supersede the Constitution by legislation.
Right. How did what Bill Clinton pass violate the Constitution?
It didn't violate the Constitution. That's my point.
Okay, what did Bill Clinton pass? What are you claiming? Go ahead, repeat it.
1996 Immigration Reform Act.
Yeah, what did this do?
Expedient departure without due process.
Yeah, that's gonna be that's so what you're referencing is gonna be within miles of the border.
No, it's not miles of the border. No. I suggest you go read the 1996 Immigration Reform Act. Okay, and
It applies to a certain amount of.
if what you say was true, that these people that just cross our imaginary borderline have now all of a sudden they have constitutional rights,
Yes.
the 1996 Immigration Reform Act would never have passed, or it would have been challenged to the Supreme Court and they would have knocked it down, which they haven't done since 1996.
Right.
You can't have it both ways.
That doesn't disprove my point, buddy.
How does it not disprove your
Because
point?
my point is-
Obviously, the Constitution doesn't apply to illegals, or they would have been able to
Sure,
pass a law.
Why does the 14th Amendment say people? All people, born or naturalized.
Well, they weren't born here nor naturalized here. They came here illegally. That's the
people,
point.
right? It says people.
No, they came here
Does it
illegally.
say
They
U.S.
weren't
citizens
born-
or does
they
it say
weren't-
people?
They says born here or naturalized here, and they aren't either. Are
Right,
they?
But when it says people, what does it reference?
Again,
Does
does it say naturally? Does it say naturally born here, or they got their green card or whatever? It doesn't say
that's what
they're here.
you have the 14th Amendment that says anyone born or naturalized that's going to be for birthright citizenship, meaning that the children
so
of
you have to
undocumented.
be born here.
Can I
You
finish?
have to be naturalized here, right?
Can I finish?
That's
no,
what it applies
in
to.
order to be a citizen, you have to be born or naturalized. That's going to be birthright citizenship. That's a formal on my part. I misquoted the wrong amendment. The Fifth Amendment and the 14th Amendment.
If the Constitution says X, are we allowed to make legislative laws to go against the Constitution? And if we did, don't you think the Supreme Court would have weighed in and said, wait a minute, that's unconstitutional?
Yeah, if anything violated the Constitution and there was no interpretation, then that would go to the Supreme Court. And if it was deemed to be under the interpretation of the amendments in the Constitution, then it would be deemed to be unconstitutional. But if they interpret it in a way that's not unconstitutional, then they would deem it to be
But it's never been challenged. It's never been challenged.
Based on interpretation.
Again, it's not. Our amendments are not up there.
If it's not clear in the Constitution, it is based on interpretation of the Supreme Court justices. Yeah,
but nobody's challenged it. The Supreme Court hasn't brought it up, so you can't have it both ways.
That doesn't mean that
people that just
undocumented
cross our border that are now entitled to constitutional rights.
I have a question. Do laws apply to undocumented immigrants?
Some.
So then they hold on. Are undocumented immigrants subject to the jurisdiction thereof?
Some
undocumented immigrants are subject.
They don't
to the
have our
jurisdiction
Constitution. They're not all covered by our Constitution because they're not American.
So it's a yes or no question. Are undocumented immigrants subject to the jurisdiction thereof?
No, they're not allowed to vote.
If they are not subject to the jurisdiction thereof, that means American law does not apply to them. Meaning they cannot violate a law that does not apply to them, right?
Oh, well, thank you very much. If the law doesn't apply to them, they can just leave, right?
No, you just conceded because if the law doesn't apply to them,
anything.
If the law, hold on, if the law doesn't apply to them, they cannot violate the law, right? That's like saying this person is gonna go to jail if they are 6'3", but then this other person, like let's say the government says anyone who's 6'3" is gonna go to jail. This person who's 5'9" is not 6'3", that law does not apply to them, meaning they cannot violate the law, meaning they cannot get the punishment if they violate the quote-unquote law because it doesn't apply to them. Right? So it's the same thing here. If you said undocumented immigrants are not subject to the jurisdiction thereof, that means American law does not apply to them, including immigration law. If American law, including immigration law, does not apply to them, they cannot violate something that does not apply to them, meaning they cannot be deported because that is deportation is one of the punishments for violating immigration law. But if that immigration law doesn't apply to them because you said they are not subject to the jurisdiction thereof,
not what I said.
they can't be deported. Oh, also, undocumented immigrants are subject to the jurisdiction thereof then, yes?
No, they're not.
So then law doesn't apply to them.
I said not for all. If they get caught drunk driving, they're subject because that's a state law. You're absolutely right about that. I said some. I didn't say all.
It's not some.
It's some.
Are
they allowed to vote?
Subject to the jurisdiction thereof?
Are they allowed to vote?
Immigrants
are they allowed to vote? Are they allowed to
No.
vote? All right. So guess what? That's one law they're not entitled to, right? Right. They're allowed to collect social services? No. They do it anyhow.
Right. Social services isn't a law. I'm confused.
Sure, there's a law. There's a law that says that illegals are not allowed to collect Social Security or benefits or anything else, but they do.
Collecting they don't. Collecting Social Security.
Whoa, what do you mean they
benefits.
don't? They don't. Joe Biden they said he gave out 2 million Social Security numbers in his last term in office to undocumented people here.
You just made a great point, and it helps my case. They are subject to the jurisdiction thereof, So if they
Dumb.
collect federal benefits and they commit fraud, they are going to get the punishment. If they vote in a federal if they vote in a federal election, they are going to get the punishment for election fraud, right? You just proved my point.
No, I know.
With those two examples, you just proved my point. Under my premise, if they are subject to the jurisdiction thereof, if they voted, they would be held accountable. Under your premise, if they're not under the jurisdiction thereof, if the law of voting does not apply to them, they wouldn't be held accountable if they do vote.
Here's the thing. They should have never been allowed in here in the first place. They should have been kept in internment camps until their case was heard.
Hold on. Address what I said or concede.
I'm not conceding anything. I said some.
No,
you would have made it all.
Laws. Hold on. All laws apply to them in reference to like if they like vote in a federal election, and they commit election fraud, then they will be held accountable.
And where are they going? Are they going to get put in jail here in the United States? No, they're going to get deported.
Yeah, they can get that right.
And what would happen to an
immigration law does apply to them? Precisely my point.
What would happen to an American citizen if they got caught doing the same thing?
If they caught doing election interference or fraud, then they would be put in prison.
That's right. And the other person's going to get deported.
Because the laws apply to undocumented immigrants and U.S. citizens.
I guess it doesn't apply the same because one's going to get deported and one's going to jail, right?
What?
Wait, can I?
Go ahead.
For starters, voting isn't a law. It's all right. Social Security also isn't a law. But let me ask you this:
Social Security is still a law.
It's not.
Signed in 1933, the Emergency Powers
Banking Act. That is not a law.
It is absolutely a law. 1933 Emergency Powers Banking Act. It is most certainly a law.
That is not a law. It's a Jesus
They
Christ.
passed it in 1933 Emergency Powers Banking Act.
That's not a law. That is not a law.
That's not a law. That is a law.
That's not a law. Secondly, what is the punishment for improper entry?
It's a misdemeanor offense.
I know that. I said, what is the punishment?
I don't know what the punishment is off the top of my head.
$50, no more than $250, and or 6 months in jail.
Why would you allow unvetted people into this country?
This is our law.
I know it is our law. I think
this is our law. So we
need to throw them right out.
Yeah, that sounds good. But again, this is our law. Is it not?
Oh, no, that is our law. I don't agree with that.
Okay, so again, it's not deportation. Deportation is if they are deported for something else and then they come back in, then it's an automatic deportation. But the first time of improper entry is $50, no more than $250 in or 6 months up in jail.
And hopefully
first they have to be charged
soon.
with that.
I hope they change it real soon.
Yeah, that's amnesty. Yeah.
And how do we change stuff like that?
Change the law. Change our immigration laws.
How?
Congress, President, Senate, like normal laws get passed.
Senate is a part of Congress, by the way.
Yeah.
I know you need 3 branches of government to have a law signed, and you should know better. Take a civics class.
Well, no,
now, right or wrong? Don't you think that you should vote on a bill to change all that?
What are the two aspects? Hold on, PJ. What are the 2 aspects of Congress? Like, what are the 2 things that make up Congress?
The House and the Senate.
Cool. So when you said Congress and then you said Senate, you're making it seem like these are 2 individual.
Does a bill have to be passed in the Senate and Congress before it goes to the president?
That's why you say Congress, not Congress and Senate, because Senate is included in Congress. Anyway,
all right, well, to most people, they don't know the difference. But again, the Senate's got to pass it, Congress got to pass it, and the president signed it. That's how it becomes law. So we should change the law. Okay, make the fines
we should change the law for mass amnesty,
which I'm sure Donald Trump's going to do before he leaves office. Thank God.
Presidents can't change or create laws.
No, they just sign them into law. So he'll suggest to the Congress, which I'm sure is going to listen to him, to change the law.
Hey, Jinxie, you wanted to say something before I address that?
Oh no, you can address it. It would be a pivot on my part. So
I was just gonna say he's gonna lose the house. He's gonna lose the house and most likely the Senate by midterms. That's all I was gonna say.
Yeah, I heard this in the last election.
If he wants to do that, he's gonna have to do it pretty quick. Jinxie, go ahead.
Yeah, I would just like to address both of y'all on the Social Security law thing. Social Security technically is a law under the Social Security Act of 1935, but it only the only thing it states is that it provides benefits to old retired workers. So that's pretty much it.
It was a mistake when they passed it because what they did was they passed the law, said you can collect benefits, but the majority of the people were already dead by the time they were eligible for the benefits. The only thing they wanted to do was spend more money because the Federal Reserve makes 6% off every dollar we print. And that's the reason why they passed it, because they didn't give two shits about the people. They didn't care less if the people died.
Let's go back to the question I asked. What is one benefit of mass deporting undocumented immigrants?
Well, it's very simple here. This is a mathematical equation. See, if there's 10 jobs with 8 people looking for it, wages go up. If there's 10 jobs and 10 people looking for it, wages stay static.
Yeah,
if
I'm gonna disagree. I'm gonna disagree with
wages
this
go
premise.
down.
So I disagree with this premise, but let's say I grant it to you. It brings wages up, which I completely disagree according to American Immigration Council. But let's just say I grant it to you. Mass amnesty would also increase wages because they wouldn't be getting exploited anymore. Meaning that they would be getting paid either the state's minimum wage or more than that, right? So this would also increase minimum wages, and they wouldn't come with all
There's
the
only
negative
one thing
effects
that
of mass
increases minimum
deportation.
wages, which is demand for our labor. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing more.
Demand for our labor.
That's it.
And you think deporting millions of unauthorized workers is going to increase or decrease demand for our labor?
Well, if there's less labor to fill the, say if we got 15 people looking for 10 jobs, the wages are going to go down because business is in control. If there's 10 people looking for jobs, there's 10 jobs, wages are going to stay the same. If businesses are looking, there's 10 jobs to fill and like 8 people to fill them, they're going to pay more money to make sure that the workers come to them. This is not rocket science.
You're presupposing that these individual companies are going to keep the amount of workers that they have post mass deportation policies. Well, according to American Immigration Councils, for every 500,000 immigrants are moved, 44,000 U.S.-born workers would lose their job. This is going to be due to the fact that some companies will downsize. Not only that, we're going to see a decrease of $1.1 to $1.7 trillion that go into our GDP. We're going to see an increase in inflation. We're going to see a decrease in GDP numbers seen as as close as the 2008 recession. Right, we're going to see prices increase for groceries.
By that council, that's funded by whom?
American Immigration Council.
By who are they funded by?
Who are they funded by? I have no idea.
You should go look. See, they're funded by.
Why do you dispute? But why do you dispute what I said?
Because the same thing happened when we passed the what's called NAFTA. Okay, we lost 2.9. We lost 2.9 million manufacturing jobs and 9,000 manufacturing plants.
Hey, the
same process.
The immigration that he just said, they're independent.
Who's independent?
The American Immigration Council.
No, yeah, I'm sure they're funded by somebody. Who are they funded by?
They're independent.
And they get their funding from who?
They're independent.
Who gives them their money to hire the people that work for them?
If I'm not wrong, they are a 501c3.
Who gives them the money?
It comes from donations.
No shit, but who donates the money to them? Somebody has an agenda. Sure. Well, go find out because it's 100%. No different than the Koch brothers. I mean, they do the same thing on the right that the left does, to push an agenda. I mean, this is insane.
Again, you can't prove what I said wrong. You're just attacking American Immigration Council. Prove what I said wrong.
This is basic. You know, I've been in business for myself since I was 18 years old. I'm 62. This is as basic gets. This is guns and butter. This is economics 101.
Yeah, it's economics 101. If you remove 10 million people out of an economy, that's going to harm it.
No, it's not because
not everybody's working. Not all the undocumented people are working. First of all, they don't have a TTN number. Okay, most of them don't. Okay, or they're using social.
You said a what number?
What is it? ITN number, TTN number?
A TIN number. But I know you did not just try to quote Vin Ring and from a movie, bread and butter as a reliable source just now.
No, actually, that's my economics class in 1982 when I was attending college. It's guns and butter. It's economics 101. It's the first thing they teach you.
Clearly, you didn't pay close attention to the class, or I mean, clearly it's been like decades, right?
It's been decades. I've been pretty successful in my life at 62 years old.
You're 62
I've made a fair amount of money in my life.
Yeah, that isn't just because you've made money doesn't prove that what you say is right and what we say is wrong.
Well, again, this is basic economics. I mean, you don't have to have a master's degree in economics to figure this out unless you have an agenda.
You don't have to have a master's degree to understand that if you remove millions of workers out of our economy, that's going to harm the economy.
Oh, you mean like so? No taxpayer dollars are going to be spent on these people?
Wait,
No,
actually, can I
we're
actually
gonna
answer
lose
that?
what they contribute. We're gonna lose the trillions of dollars
We
that they
cost us
contribute
more
to
than
our
what they
GDP.
contribute, regardless of
Yeah,
what
what's your
some people
source for
try
that?
to say.
What's your source that they cost us more than they contribute? Go ahead, provide your source.
Congress, it would be a good
Congress
example.
is-
But of course, the Democrats,
No, so hold on. Hey,
wait,
hold on, because
I've
I know.
seen the Democrat talking point numbers
PJ,
on this. Is
PJ,
bullshit. Yes,
PJ.
sir.
So Congress cited FAIR, which FAIR is a far right think tank, and a person that actually owned that is a white supremacist. So with the Congress that you think you got those numbers from, they quoted FAIR. You can look up what FAIR is.
I know what fair is. Okay.
Fair's
Yeah.
far right.
Again, if you have people that are not paying,
compared
so let me
to
say,
what I
the 10 million
compared to what I
of the people
quoted.
that came in here illegally, did
Compared
they
to what? Hold on, give me
contribute
a
back?
second. Give me a second, because you
Did
still have
they
to
pay
provide
taxes?
evidence. You
Did
still
they
have to
pay
provide-
Did they pay Social Security taxes?
Do they pay Social Security taxes? They pay into Social Security according to American Immigration Council. and
How
they
do
don't
they do
receive
that
any
without
benefits.
Social Security number?
It's
or
6 billion.
TIN
I believe
number?
it's $22 billion, I think, or 6 billion.
How
They
how
pay
they
6
do that
billion to
without
Medicaid
how
and
they
22
do that
into
without a
Social
Social
Security.
Security number or TIN number?
Because you
Yeah,
don't
they're-
actually have to be a U.S. citizen to get an ITIN number.
Yes.
You
No,
can
you
be
don't.
here.
You're going to apply for
Yeah,
asylum and get what
you can be here. You can be here waiting for the asylum process or any other process. You can be here as DACA. You can be here as TPS, and you can get an
I just said that,
ITIN
you
number.
can.
That pay when you have an ITIN number, they pull taxes. So yes, they pay into our Social Security
Some
program.
do. I didn't say that all of them don't. I said some do. Some do.
Yeah, so if
But
we
the
if,
vast
if
majority
some
of
do
them
if some do and we already get all this money from these undocumented immigrants that do and they don't get any representation, let's do mass amnesty so millions more of undocumented immigrants can come out of the
I
shadows
wonder who
and
that's
we vet
I
them.
wonder which
Yeah, can I
party
finish
that's
talking?
going to
And we
benefit.
vet them and they pay trillions of more into our economy.
Oh,
That's the
they
issue
paid
with
the.
that.
Oh, they. Oh, you think so? I wonder which party backs that, and I wonder who's that's going to benefit. Do you know benefit the Republicans or the Democrats?
It's gonna benefit the average American and
No, it's
the
going to
immigrants.
benefit the Democrats to hold control of power, which is why they went into court
No.
every single solitary time to try and get them included in the test of
That's not
2026.
That's not true. So if we actually look
Well,
at
what's not true? The
over-
Democrats didn't go
Hold on.
fight to have them included in the 2026
PJ,
test
hold
sentence?
on. PJ, hold on. So if we actually look at the facts over the last few years of people that actually got citizenship, they tend to vote more Republican than
Oh, that's
Democrat.
a lie. That's
so
a flat
actually,
out
it
lie.
would
That's a
benefit
flat out-
You can
that's a
look this
flat out
up.
lie.
PJ,
You couldn't back that source up if you tried
You
to.
can look this up. You can literally look this up. People that tend to come here and actually get their green cards, like Cubans, a lot of white passing Hispanic people, they tend to vote Republican.
Bullshit.
They tend to be more
You are
conservative.
full of shit. You mute
Prove
me
me
all
wrong.
you want. You're full of
PJ,
shit.
if you can prove me wrong, I'll give you $100
I'll
right
tell you
now,
what.
PJ.
Prove me wrong. Pick up a source right now. Pick up a source right now.
if you can
Go
prove me
find your
wrong,
source that tells
PJ.
me that. Go find your source. You made.
PJ, if you can prove me wrong, I will give you $100 right now. We can actually look at the voting.
You made the claim. Back it up.
PJ, we can look at voting statistics. We can look at voting statistics, PJ.
Go me a statistic, and you made the claim. Go back it up.
PJ, we can look at the
Go
voting
make
stats.
it. Okay, then give me the link and tell me where you found the
because you
source.
said I'm wrong, so I want you to prove me wrong. We can literally look at the
You
voting
made
data.
the claim. Back up your claim.
PJ, we can look at the voting data from the last few years.
Go look for it then. Tell me where it is.
PJ, we can look at the
Then
voting.
show me where it is. You can tell me you look for it all you want. Show me where it is. Show me where your source is.
Okay.
You made the claim.
I didn't even want to pull out my laptop, so I got you. Hold on. Let me
Go ahead.
Here, I
think
I
PJ
can pull it up. I have my other phone if you want me to pull it up for you.
PJ,
if you can.
If you want them to pull up the source, you have to pull up a source so that the claim that you made earlier.
I'm on my cell. I have an iPhone cell phone.
You're on your cell phone. You can't pull up any statistics.
I didn't say I
because you're
could.
on your cell phone.
Okay, so what exactly was the claim?
That people that became citizens that made vote more for Republican than do for Democrat. I mean, because there had to be a reason why Democrats went into every single courtroom in this country.
Cato Institute, PJ. Cato Institute.
And what's it
And
say?
they tend to be far right.
Naturalized. They're the naturalized people.
What's nationalized? PJ, what's nationalized?
No. Stop. These are the people that came by here.
No. What's nationalized, PJ? That is somebody that tends to get their citizenship that's not born here, correct? We both can agree to that, right?
They're the ones that came here legally.
They tend to once they
people that came here legally. I don't even concede that point.
PJ, you literally was wrong, and now you're trying to. No, I was not
wrong.
So again,
undocumented people.
PJ,
undocumented people and naturalized people are two different things.
To vote for Republicans. This is migrants.
Migrants. These are naturalized people that spent up to 10 years going through the process.
Undocumented
These
immigrants.
are not the same.
Hold on. Undocumented immigrants can't vote, buddy.
Oh, that must not be happening here. North Carolina, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and California, where undocumented people are allowed to vote.
Naquan just proved you wrong.
Wait a minute. They're allowed to get driver's licenses here, and they're allowed to affirm whether or not they have the right to vote or not, with nobody checking, especially in my home state of New Jersey.
Vote in federal elections.
PJ,
but yet they're doing it, and nobody's checking it.
Not out of massive scale enough to cancel.
Hold on. So PJ, you're lying, and what you're doing is spreading misinformation, because we can look at the what was it, Cato Institute, I believe, and the what's the name,
Naturalized
foundation?
Citizens are not undocumented.
PJ, hold on, because over the last 40 years, there's literally only been documented of 40.
It's apples and oranges because they're naturalized.
No. So shush, PJ, because you don't even know what you're talking about right now. So you made the claim that they're voting in California, New Jersey, etc. I live in New York. Over the last 40 years, there's only been an instance of 40 undocumented people voting, and they was charged with a crime for that.
I think he ran because he doesn't have $100 to give you.
Yeah, I don't know, and I don't even like to say that they tend to vote Republicans, because majority of them don't. But not even, I can't say majority, but a good portion of them that tends to be nationalized tend to vote more Republican because they tend to be more conservative based off the Bible wise. And we got to stop thinking that being conservative versus goddamn tongue tie. We got to stop thinking that being conservative Bible wise mean we have to be conservative politic wise.
Right.
They're not the same.
Absolutely, yeah.
Did we kick him or did he run?
He ran after I corrected him on the undocumented migrants is voting all over the place.
He couldn't even. He asked us to provide sources, and you provided one, and then he just denied it outright. He tried to change the wording there because obviously undocumented immigrants can't vote, and then he ran. Wow, what a runner! Naquan and Jinx, I appreciate you coming up here. I'm gonna hit a restart. You guys are welcome to come back up if you'd like, but I'm gonna hit a restart.
Wow. Here's my impression of Grummet from Wallace and Gromit.
See if we can have a conversation with someone. We spent like an hour talking about immigration. Let's see what we can do. If you guys support Donald Trump, join up in the guest box. I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to have it with you. I'd love to have a conversation. If you're on YouTube, make sure to hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. Make sure to join. Make sure to give your answer in the poll. The poll is: do you support Donald Trump? There's 70 votes. Make sure to give your answer in that poll. And if you're over here on TikTok, make sure to double tap that phone so you get that share, copy, link a few times, repost the live, share the live, do all the wonderful things. He didn't run. He was done with the nonsense and lies. Yeah, come over to TikTok and prove us anything that we said was wrong. Go ahead. Over on YouTube, that person who said that, Kevin root 850. We're gonna do one more debate, maybe one more lengthy debate or two more shorter debates, depends. UGG, the best president ever. Yeah, you're a troll, buddy. Get pushed. Absolutely pushed. If you guys support Trump, join up in the guest box. I'd love to talk to you. Love to debate with you. I see John is here. Let's see. Alright, what are we doing? Donald Trump, MAGA 35, which is on his next. That's crazy. That's literally cult-like mentality, buddy. How's it going? Do you support Donald Trump?
Nigger, 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 nigger.
You're like 5 years old. You got school tomorrow. Make sure to tell your parents to raise you better as well. You know they're not doing a very good job in raising you, buddy. Am I a border crosser? Crazy work, yeah. Crazy work, chap. What's YouTube saying? Sorry, y'all. I was trying to read comments. We're on to the next, guys. How's it going? Do you support Trump?
No. He's a piece of shit.
W, you're amazing. You guys are reposting live chat live, do all the wonderful things. We just hit that restart like 2 minutes ago, so make sure you guys are joining up in the guest box if you support Donald Trump.
What's up?
How old are you?
13.
You're gonna be 18 or older to join up your TikTok terms of service. I think your parents need to do a better job at raising you. Just saying. Guys, make sure to join up in the guest box if you support Donald Trump. If you're on YouTube and you want to debate me, make sure to click on the link tree in the description of the live stream. Make sure to come over to YouTube. We're working on going live on YouTube as well to attract the old MAGAs, right? So the Confederate flags, that exactly. If you guys want to see us live on Facebook to talk to older people, right? There's millions of people there. That's untouched territory. I don't see anyone debating on Facebook. Make sure you guys check out the link tree in my bio on Facebook. My Facebook isn't in the link tree of my bio, is it? Hold on. My Facebook is not in the link tree of the bio. I'll have to add it on there. Fuck. Make sure to join my Discord. That's also in the link to the bio. Henry, guarantee you're like 10 years old, but I sent you an invite. If you guys support the president, join up in the guest box. Saw King E in the chat. Debated him a couple times. Why are there so many Trump supporters in my comment section and they're terrified to come up on the live stream? So they're bots. They were paid by like MAGA. Jacob, I sent you an invite. Oh, Jacob follows me. Once again, if you guys support Trump, join up in the guest box. I'd love to talk to you. It's taken a while. I'm not a bot. It's true. Chick-fil-A makes more revenue under Trump. Yeah, correlation causation give me the reason as to why Donald Trump made Chick-fil-A to make more under Donald Trump. Thank you for the freaking for the level up sparks. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Can we just get some W's in the chat for that? You're amazing. Can you get some W's in the chat for Jules? But yeah, you have to prove that that there is a correlation for said proposition. Otherwise, it is a logical fallacy, correlation causation. He sponsored them? I don't think that's true. Essentially. Trust me, bro. Trust me. You know, some of why you guys, why am I not seeing W's in the chat? What is YouTube saying? What's up, YouTube? There's 11 of you guys over there. Make sure to hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe. We are looking for some debates. So if you want to debate as to why you support Donald Trump, link tree in the description of the live stream. They're part of the campaign. Doesn't mean that they made more because they were a part of the campaign. Again, correlation, causation. No actual evidence. There's no actual evidence to defend your proposition. Get pushed. And just because they were a part of the campaign, we don't. Everyone's so scared today. I know. I saw like bigger live streams like Dean, Parker, Jade, and Joey, and they either got banned or restricted, or they took them a while to get Trump supporters. Luckily, not a lot of people know who I am, so they think that it's like an easy dog walk, you know. GOP campaign sent over 200K on Chick-fil-A. Doesn't mean that they made more under Donald Trump in the fiscal year of 2025 compared to 2024. So like, if I grant you the fact that they did do 200,000, and because of this 200,000 they did make more, it happened in 2024, which was a campaign for Donald Trump, which means they earned more under Joe Biden compared to Donald Trump. So it's your proposition proven wrong. I don't know. I don't even know why I'm arguing about this. Trump bombed 7 countries this year, says Osho over on YouTube. That is 34 felonies off his jail time, but once a felony conviction will put me in prison. Presidential immunity. That's why. They didn't want to put a sitting president in prison. Would have caused a political nightmare. They're at the peak currently under Trump. Yeah, what's your source for that? You're gonna need to provide statistics and evidence, buddy. He clearly is corrupt and someone is on his side. Absolutely. Why don't you talk about AIPAC? I do talk about AIPAC all the time. I think you guys should vote. I mean, if you're here in Arizona, vote for Kai Newark. He doesn't take AIPAC. You guys should vote people who want to ban corporate PAC money, who want to ban AIPAC, people who want to overturn Citizens United, and people who want to keep money out of politics, big money out of politics. Make sure to vote for those candidates on the left and the right, right? Because some left-leaning people, some right-leaning people do want to ban it, but overwhelmingly the left and the right does take AIPAC. And just PACs in general. Let me freaking do citizens. I don't know what you're even. What's up? Do you support Trump?
I do.
Why is that?
Actually, I want to come up here because you said that we should ban AIPAC. Why would we ban AIPAC?
I don't think there should be money in politics. I don't think there should be big money in politics. That's why. I think AIPAC does have influence over congressmen and women. And I think we should cut ties with Israel, and not just specifically AIPAC. I think we should ban just corporate, like Shell. Like
so we should have. So you want to set limits on how much people can spend, or do you want to just or make
crowdfunding
elections?
Crowdfunding.
Yeah, make it. Well, don't we do that now?
Yeah, but there's also PACs that are involved in said funding, and I wanna keep those out of politics. Keep big money out of politics. That's the goal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I support Trump. Well, I support what we're trying to do right now is try to get a negotiated deal with Iran. It's not going well right now.
Then you shouldn't support Trump.
Well, he's the president, so there's no one else that can kind of do
You
this.
could go back in time. Would you vote for Harris or Trump?
Oh, I still vote for Trump.
If you think that we need to get a deal with Iran, and the question that I just asked, your answer should be Harris, not Trump.
Well, it doesn't really matter what you think Harris would do because she's not the president.
But it matters what Trump did do and what Trump has been doing and what Harris would have done. The
Right.
point
So
is
I'm
here,
not
if you
gonna-
voted for Harris, we would have had a deal with Iran. We
you
would
don't know
have
what
the
she would have
situation.
done. You have no idea. What she
Absolutely,
would
Joe Biden, the Harris administration
You don't know
was
what
able to secure prisoners that they had that Iran had for sanctions being lifted off of their bank accounts. Obama secured the JCPOA, which prevented them from building nuclear bombs. What did Donald Trump do? As soon as he got into office, he destroyed the JCPOA, greenlighting Iran to building nuclear firearms. Right. So if you care about Iran not having nuclear firearms, you should support Trump.
So why would you want to reward Kamala with the presidency if she oversaw the G side in Gaza?
Yeah,
You know,
in
they
this
were
instance,
calling.
in this instance, it's going to be who's going to be the lesser of two evils. I agree that.
So let's reward her.
Yeah, it's going to be who's going to be the
Oh, I
lesser of
see.
two evils. I agree that there's a genocide going on in Gaza, but I also agree that Harris was not as pro-Israel as Donald Trump is. Harris would not have gotten us to a war in Iran as we are now. Donald Trump did. Bibi Netanyahu went on February 26th to Donald Trump saying, go to war for us. He said yes, Bibi Netanyahu, and went to war. And if you care about genocide, Donald Trump threatened genocide. So all these points, you're absolutely getting dog-blocked, which means you should not support Donald Trump and you should support Harris or not vote at all in the hypothetical that I gave you.
I mean, you can see that she oversaw the G side in Gaza. She didn't
What do you mean
protest.
by oversaw?
She was the vice president.
Yeah, but what do you mean by oversaw?
That she was the vice president.
What is the job of the vice president according to the Constitution?
According to the Constitution, I'd have to look that up, but I don't think it really lays out the job
One of the
description for that.
vice president's job, right? And if you care about Vice President Harris just being vice president while there was a genocide going on in Gaza while Joe Biden funded Israel, right, then you should also critique J.D. Vance, and you would never vote for J.D. Vance since he's overseeing the genocide going on in Gaza because Donald Trump is definitely more pro-Israel. And you shouldn't support Donald Trump because, again, he threatened genocide on the Iranian people.
I remember during the campaign, the pro-Palestinian activists protesting Kamala, not.
Okay, what does that have to anything to do with what I just
Why
said?
do you think they were doing that?
What does that have anything to do with what I just said?
Why do you think they were doing
Can
that?
you answer? Can you just stop pivoting?
Why do you
It's
think they were
pivoting.
doing that?
Yeah, Bidenism. It's where you pivot to another topic whenever we're talking
No,
about
I'm
Trump.
asking-
Can you
we're
address
talking
what I
about
said?
Kamala.
I'll answer
We're
your
talking
question
about
once you
Kamala.
address my points.
I thought we were talking about Kamala. Now you want to change the subject?
No, this conversation is not about Harris. It's about Trump.
Well, now you want to switch back because you realize it's bad
I'm
point.
telling you
Okay.
why you should vote for Trump instead of Harris.
That's cool. I mean,
Right.
I'll follow you along. So what was your question?
Yeah, the points that I brought up that you have failed to refuse, that you have actually refused to address multiple times, is that Donald Trump
But
threatened
when I
genocide
started
in
addressing
Iran.
them, you're saying don't
Donald
talk
Trump-
about Kamala.
Donald Trump
So
Trump
I don't know how I
threatened
can address your points about
Donald
Kamala if you don't want me
Trump
to address Kamala.
Donald Trump threatened genocide in Iran of the Iranian people, and if you care about Harris being the VP, well, there's a genocide going on in Gaza, and Joe Biden was president, then you should not vote and never vote for J.D. Vance because he's overseeing, quote unquote, overseeing the genocide going on in Gaza right now, with Donald Trump being more pro-Israel. Again, the 2 points: Donald Trump called for a genocide of the Iranian people, and the second point is going to be don't vote for J.D. Vance in the next election if he is the Republican nominee.
Okay,
Address
so
those
let
two
me
points.
address your first point. You say that I shouldn't support Trump because he threatened a G side. But the problem with the argument is that Harris oversaw a G side. So which one's worse, threatening one or actually sending weapons to a country that you know is committing it?
Under this proposition, Donald Trump is also
it's a
sending
simple
weapons.
question. It's a simple question. Which one is it?
Which one's worse? I don't want to put
Yeah,
which one's worse on a scale of.
Overseeing,
I think
overseeing
I
a
think-
G side or threatening one?
I think that committing genocide and threatening genocide are absolutely horrible. Now committing the
Well,
act of
which
genocide
one's
is going to
worse?
be worse.
Exactly. So why should?
Are you
why
saying
would a
Harris
Pa-
committed genocide?
So why were the
How did-
Palestinian
hold on. What
activists
is again?
protesting her
Again,
rally?
you're saying she oversaw the genocide. Are you just saying because she was vice president? What did you want her to do as vice president? Go ahead. What is the
Resign.
job? What is you
Resign.
wanted to talk about Harris? Let's talk about
She
Harris.
could've resigned
What is
and
the job?
protested.
What is the job of the VP? And
She
what
could
did
have
you want
resigned
her
in
to do?
protest. She could have resigned in protest.
Okay, she could have resigned in protest. Is that all you
Why
wanted?
didn't-
She
why
wanted
didn't
to,
she
you
do
wanted
that?
her to do?
Yeah, I would have. That would have shown me that.
And if she
that
if she
was-
resigned, would
she
you
was
have voted for
not
her
for
over
doing
Trump?
that. Possibly, yeah. I was sure as hell I'm not going to reward her.
Why would you vote for Trump if he is the one also supporting Israel and supporting the genocide and he threatened genocide? And the proposition that you gave me, which one is worse, overseeing a genocide or threatening genocide? Donald Trump is doing both. So under your proposition, it's going to be the lesser of two evils. Harris never threatened genocide. If you want to claim, quote unquote, she oversaw genocide, Donald Trump did both of these. So Harris would be the lesser of the two evils, unfortunately. In this instance, you should still vote for Harris. Get dog walk again. Thank you, Roses.
Your argument is not making sense. So you're saying
my argument is that Harris is the lesser of two evils. Keep track.
Yeah, but the reasoning you're giving doesn't.
Yeah,
make
because
sense.
you said what's worse, committing, overseeing genocide or threatening genocide. In this instance, you're
Right.
making the claim that Harris oversaw genocide. And in this instance, we're also acknowledging that Donald Trump is overseeing genocide and he threatened genocide. He did the two things that you want to compare. Which one was worse? Meaning, Harris only did one of these, so she would be the lesser of two evils, since Donald Trump is committing more evils by threatening and overseeing the genocide.
Right, but you're jumping into the future and then you're jumping back because you're saying
I'm comparing Harris and Trump.
At the time we had to vote for Harris or Trump. Did we know?
No, I'm saying everything you know now. No, everything. The question that hold on.
The answer is no.
You're being disingenuous.
We didn't know.
You're being disingenuous.
So why would we reward Harris?
Hold on. You're being disingenuous. I'm saying if you knew everything you know now, and the election was held tomorrow, would you vote for Harris or Trump? Under this proposition, you should vote for Harris because she's the lesser of two evils, because under your worldview, she only oversaw the genocide in Gaza, while Donald Trump is overseeing the genocide in Gaza and threatened genocide in Iran, right? So under your worldview of knowing everything you know now, if the election was held tomorrow, Donald Trump versus Harris, you should vote for Harris. That is a proposition that I've presented, and that is a proposition that you have failed
But that's
to
an
either
impossibility.
dispute.
What you're saying is an impossibility. You
Yeah, what's the illogical
you couldn't
contradiction?
have known in
I'm saying if the election was held
December
tomorrow.
20 or November
No,
of
if the election was held
2024,
tomorrow, if the
what
election was held
going to
tomorrow,
happen in 2026. So
if
your
the
argument
election
is
was held
based
tomorrow, no,
on a
if the it's a do you know what a hypothetical is?
impossibility.
What's
You
what's the
cannot-
illogical?
You cannot know
what's the illogical
what's going to happen
contradiction?
in the future. You know, you can't.
What is
we
the
can't
illogical
know what's going
contradiction?
to happen in 2027, right? Do you know what's
What
going
is
to happen in
the
2027?
illogical contradiction?
So yeah, because you can't. Do you know what's going to happen in 2027 with the price of oil?
Holy pivot, can you answer my question?
So can you tell me what's going to happen in 2027 with the price of oil?
No, I can't.
Exactly. I just blew up your argument.
I provided a hypothetical, and
now,
you.
Because your
can I respond?
hypothetical is impossible. You can't
Yeah,
know.
what is the
future,
illogical
how
contradiction within my
things
hypothetical?
Because the logical contradiction is that you're assuming we can time travel.
What is the illogical contradiction of being able to
requires
time travel?
Time travel.
Yeah, what is the
We don't
illogical
live in a
contradiction?
world where time travel is possible.
Okay, what is the illogical contradiction?
So that's the
But what is the
contradiction,
illogical?
that you live in a dream world,
what is the
or in a
illogical
world that-
contradiction?
that maybe you read a book about time travel and you think we can do this in real life.
Sure.
But we
Let's
can't.
just
We have to base it on the past.
Sure.
Of things that come before.
Let's just say I grant you this proposition. Hold on, give me a second. Let's just say I grant you this proposition where you can't time travel. That's an illogical contradiction with my argument. My next question here would just be: knowing everything you know now, if the election was held tomorrow, would you vote for Harris or Trump? Knowing everything you know now, if the election was held tomorrow, would you vote for Harris or Trump? If the election was held tomorrow and you were to vote tomorrow, who would you vote for?
We can't imagine things that didn't happen, like a Harris presidency.
If they happen,
we can't imagine it because it didn't happen. So
the point is here, it is possible that an election can happen tomorrow.
Can't do it. You can't imagine you can't imagine how a presidency would have reacted or done.
I think you're stupid.
That didn't exist. It doesn't
I think
exist.
you're stupid. Are you saying it is physically impossible for there to be an election tomorrow?
It's impossible to analyze Harris's presidency because she didn't win the presidency.
When did I claim she was a president?
You literally said we can know what she's going to do. That's
not what I said.
That's what you said.
You want to steelman my argument? Go ahead, steelman it.
You said, this is what you said. You said, we can absolutely know what Harris would have done because she said that she wouldn't do this, she wouldn't do that, she wouldn't do this.
Not my argument, no. My argument is, you asked me a question. Hold on. I'm gonna rephrase my argument. I think it's because you're talking too much. You should put on your listening ears on and actually listen. You asked me a question. Is it worse to oversee genocide or threaten genocide? Right? I said, okay, in this instance, you're claiming that Harris oversaw genocide, right? She never threatened genocide, right? And in this instance, Donald Trump is overseeing genocide, and he threatened genocide. So knowing everything you know now, after he threatened genocide and oversaw genocide, while Harris, under your worldview, only oversaw genocide, you should vote for the lesser of two evils, which would be Harris.
Okay,
if the election was held tomorrow, which is not logically impossible.
You're saying that he's overseeing a genocide now. Which genocide are you talking about?
Yeah, the genocide in Gaza.
Oh,
the one we're talking about, the one we're referencing.
How many Palestinians have died since Trump has taken over?
Hold on. So, is there a genocide going on in Gaza?
Well,
yes or no?
I think there's a ceasefire right now, so there's not.
Is there a genocide going on in Gaza? Yes or no? That's not an answer my question.
Not now.
There's not a genocide in Gaza right now?
No.
You're delusional.
Really? So how many? Okay, well, how many? Tell me how many people.
We on to the next guys. Hey, do you support Trump?
No, I do not.
No, we appreciate you getting up here. We do have a couple guests, so we're gonna try to get them up here. But I appreciate you. Make sure you guys double tap that phone screen, hit that follow, but if you haven't already, repost, like, share, live, do all the wonderful things. How's it going? Do you support Trump?
I support anybody that'll grab a bitch right by the pussy.
Yeah. That's gonna be let's see, got your username. You know, you do realize that like TikTok can find out like where you live, right? You can find like your IP and everything. So just saying. TikTok is able to do that. Make sure you guys, if you're ever on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe if you haven't already. You should vote in the poll. And over here on TikTok, we're gonna set a poll as well. How's it going? Do you support Trump? Jay Wood, do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Boosted, do you support Trump?
No, I do not. I was actually coming on here to help you debate against some of this stuff. I'm actually prior Army, and I'm actually enlisted in the military now as well.
Yeah, you wanted to talk with Alaskans?
Say again, sir?
Do you wanted to talk with Alaskans or just in general?
In general, I'm very limited on what I'm able to say because of what I do, but I would be happy to help.
No, of course. Listen, man, I hit you a follow. It does look like it's getting difficult to like find Trump supporters. If you want to follow me, we can DM, and then whenever like the topic that you want to talk about comes up, feel free to come up. Once we've had a DM chat, and feel free to debate with me.
Oh, you're good. I follow you back. Thank you, sir.
Oh, of course. Take care. Make sure to send me that DM, and we can debate together whenever a topic that you see on my live stream comes up. How's it going? Do you support Trump?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Do you want to come closer to the mic or disconnect Bluetooth?
Yeah. I'll get closer.
Cool. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna start a poll to like start engagement. The red smiley face is gonna be if you do support Trump, and the crying emoji blue is gonna be if you don't support Trump. It's just to help with engagement, so you guys engage in the comment section. Make sure you guys repost, live, share the live, do all the wonderful things. Make sure to hit that follow. But if you're ever on YouTube, again, there's also a poll over there. Hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. Go ahead, take it away. Why do you support Trump?
I support Trump just because, I support him because he's American. You know, he's very
Harris was also American.
Yeah, I understand that, but I feel like he I don't know, there's things I will say this. I'll mention some pointers. There's things that I don't support that he does, and there's things that I do support that he does, and.
Overall, if you could go back in time, knowing everything you know now, would you vote for Trump or Harris?
I mean, I wouldn't really vote for any, honestly. I mean,
you want to vote? Well, listen, man, it is pretty difficult to hear you, and I think you said you wouldn't vote for anyone, so I am looking for some debates. So we're gonna move on to the next guest, but I appreciate you coming up here, man. It looks like you did the deconstructing view on yourself. Maybe you just support some conservative policies, but how's it going? Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes, I do.
Why is that?
No tax on tips, pro-war, and I'm pro the initial attack, and I ran pro-ICE and pro-tariffs.
Okay, tariffs are deemed unconstitutional, violation of the 10th Amendment. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime is going to be, it's going to be in part of the big beautiful bill, which harms the average American, according to the Congressional Budget Office. It adds $5 trillion into our debt, and it actually helps the top 1 to 2%. So that's going to be bad overall. And then he said pro-war in Iran. There's no justification to go to war with Iran. Pro-ICE. ICE is a domestic terrorist organization. Pick a point you want to talk on.
Well, we can. Did you say tax on tips? What did
Yeah,
you
no-
say about tax on?
no-
what did
no
you say about
tax-
tax on tips?
No tax on tips, no tax on overtime is going to be a part of the big beautiful bill, which is overwhelmingly harmful.
Okay,
And
but
no tax on tips, no tax on overtime was
specific. Do you have
introduced.
any issue with tax on tips specific?
On its own, no, but because it was a part of the big beautiful bill, I don't support the big beautiful bill. But if you're just referencing no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, both Democrats and Republicans supported this. Well, how do we know this? Because representatives from the left and the right introduced bills. So this also would have gotten passed under Harris because it was a bipartisan agreement.
It would have been convenient had they done that while they were in office, but they didn't.
It was
But
hard
Trump
for them
did.
to do
But
anything.
You can
in
try.
office.
You can try and take the credit swing the other way, even though it happened
Hold
while
on.
Trump
Are you
was in
saying?
office. But
Are you
whatever
denying
said,
that a
Broski.
Democrat introduced
Let's go
no
with
tax
ICE
on
now.
tips? Did
What's
a
that?
Democrat and a Republican introduce no tax on tips? Yes or no?
I don't know who introduced
Yes.
it, but I know that
Yes.
it didn't get passed
Multiple
while Biden was in
Democrats.
office. Why was that? Why?
Multiple Democrats and multiple
Why?
Republicans passed or attempted to pass no tax on tips.
Why didn't go in while Biden was in office?
Yeah, if you're referencing why policy didn't get passed, it's going to be because at the end of their term, they didn't have the majority. It was the Republicans, and Republicans made it really hard. But Democrats had to concede on a lot of different things. They had to concede
While
on Ukraine
Democrats were in
funding.
office, they weren't able to do it.
Yes, because they still didn't
Yes,
hold the
okay,
and
good.
you know in
I'm
order
glad we got that
to in
part
order
out.
to pass laws, you need to have you need to either A, be able to concede, or B, easiest have a majority, right? Republicans held a majority within Joe Biden's presidency, the last half of his presidency. So yes, it made it hard for them to pass legislation on immigration. It made it hard for them to pass legislation on Ukraine. It made it hard for them to pass legislation in general.
So just couldn't get nothing done, eh?
Oh, they did get a lot done. They did.
Yeah, okay, just not that.
Why did they
Just-
get a lot done? Because they conceded. They conceded on Ukraine funding. They conceded on what Republicans want. They literally were going to build the wall more than Donald Trump would have, and Democrats were like against that so much, but they were able to concede and say, "Listen, we're going to build the wall, even though we really don't want to. But in order to get this bill passed, we're going to build it so you guys can pass it." And guess what the Republicans did? They still didn't pass the bipartisan border bill.
So it sounds like Democrats are pretty pro border control. Are you a pro border control guy?
Am I pro border control guy? Yes, I support I support like people being vetted. Yes.
Okay, so you support CBP and ICE?
I don't support ICE. No, ICE is a domestic terrorist organization.
Okay, why don't you support ICE? Why are they a domestic
Because
terrorist
they're a domestic
organization?
terrorist organization.
Why?
Do you know what domestic terrorist organization, the definition
Yeah,
of
but
it is?
yeah, you should explain why they are that instead of just saying that they're that over and over
Well,
again.
I just want to clarify. Do you know what the definition is?
Of domestic, meaning within its own country, terrorist being participating in acts of terrorism, organization being a group.
Right. So let's see. Domestic terrorism is going to be the committing of terroristic acts in the perpetrator's own country against their fellow citizens. Right? Do you agree?
I think even if it's American, if it's an American organization, I don't think necessarily it has to be against its own citizens, in my opinion, to be domestic terrorism, as long as it has an impact on, as long as it's happening on our soil. But I mostly agree with that.
And then terrorism is going to be the unlawful use of violence and intimidation, especially against civilians in the pursuit of political aims. Do you agree?
I think that's a decently fair definition for it. Yeah.
Cool. Then under your worldview and my worldview, ICE is a domestic terrorist organization because according with the definition of terrorism, they use unlawful violence, such as the murder of Renee Nicole Good, Keith Porter Jr., or Alex Pratty, transporting 10-year-old pregnant rape victims into different facilities, against civilians, like I said, Keith Porter Jr., Alex Pratty, and Renee Nicole Good, and the pursuit of political aims, which is going to be the MAGA movement. And then this is this goes into the definition of the committing of terroristic acts, which I explained, in the perpetrator's own country against their fellow citizens. So under your definition and mine, ICE is a domestic terrorist organization.
Well, under your definition, then you have to.
You agreed
also
with the
mean
definition of domestic terrorism and terrorist.
I did. Now, you made your very long point that you could have made a lot shorter. I'm going to make my point, which is probably going to be pretty short because you're probably going to cut me off. If that's your definition and you want to fit ICE within that box, then you're going to have to fit every single police organization in America in that box, which means if you're pro-abolition ICE, you're going to be pro-abolition of every single police organization ever, because every single police organization ever has made similar mistakes. I'm going to be totally honest. Some big mistakes have happened with ICE, no doubt. Like, I'm not going to sit here and try and defend some of the massive mistakes that have happened, but the fact that you're going to say you're just going to abolition the whole thing instead of aiming for some sort of reform or training or refunding or re-leadership of ICE. It's just an absolutely ridiculous point. If you're going to get rid of ICE, you might as well just shut down the border itself, because the U.S.-Mexico border is so long that every part of it can't be surveyed every second of the day. So there's going to be a constant influx of illegal immigration.
ICE has nothing to do with the border, so I'll address that in a second. He made the claim that if I want to dismantle ICE and abolish ICE, I would have to abolish every single police agency ever that has ever existed. That's going to be false. Under the definition, it's going to be political aims. Now, ICE is backed by the President of the United States of America. Jonathan Ross was not held accountable because they did it for their political aims. The investigation was closed. Under my worldview and under the reality, officers are held accountable if they murder someone, if they unjustly terminate a human life. They are held accountable, and it isn't backed by the states, and it isn't held for political aims. So that's going to be a wrong proposition that you have there. Now, the second point that you said is going to be, if I want to get rid of ICE, I might as well support open borders. That's going to be false. ICE is going to be internal, right? ICE is internal, not external. Well, that's a nice proposition you put on there that I just debunked. Go ahead and respond.
You did not debunk it at all. So you just said, well, if I have to abolition ICE, and I have to abolition every other police agency, and that's going to be false. You didn't explain that. Why would that be false?
I explained how. Okay, yeah, can you steelman my argument? Are you capable of doing that?
You didn't explain that at all. Go ahead.
Well, let's turn on our listening ears. Yes.
Said.
Do you have our listening? Hold on. I just need
something else.
I just need a yes or no. I just need a yes or no. Do you have your listening ears on?
Oh, my listening ears are on. If you're going to put together an actual argument, how about that?
Keep your listening ears on. The reason why ICE is a domestic terrorist organization that should be abolished, and the police agency isn't, I definitely agree with reforms of the police agencies, is because ICE is backed by the state. ICE is backed by the President of the United States of America. A prime example is going to be Jonathan Ross, who murdered Renee Nicole Good and was not held accountable. In comparison with police agencies, any officer that is found of wrongdoing is held accountable by either them being fired or literally by going to prison. They are not backed by the President of the United States. They are not backed by any political party. That is where your proposition fails, that if I want to abolish ICE, I also need to abolish police agencies. Did you put on your listening ears on and listen that time? Can you steelman my argument? Go ahead.
So are you saying that because ICE is federal and many police agencies are municipal or based on city or state, that if a federal agent goes out and commits a crime while they're on duty, they're not responsible, but state agents are responsible? Is that what you're saying? Oh my God. Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Then you're just not making sense there, broski.
I think it's I had the same issue when I was in high school, where sometimes I wasn't paying attention in geometry, and I didn't understand what was going on in geometry class. But it wasn't because the teacher wasn't making any sense. It's because I wasn't paying any attention, or I was incapable of actually comprehending of what the teacher was saying.
Listen, you just rambling.
Right? So I think the issue here is not that I'm not making any sense.
You're not.
But the issue is here that you aren't able to comprehend what I'm saying, or you're just not paying attention at all. Type a 1 in the chat if what I'm saying is absolutely coherent, or a 2 in the chat if it's not. Probably going to be most mag. I mean, I see Jake, I'm the mag. Probably going to type 2 in the chat there. I'm going to call it. But I'll just reword it what I said. I'll reword what I said.
Listen, just make the argument.
What I said in a couple sentences or less. The reason why ICE is a domestic terrorist organization and the police agencies aren't is because ICE is backed by the President of the United States of America. How do I mean? Whenever Jonathan Ross murdered Renee Nicole Good, you had Kristi Noem, and you had Donald Trump and J.D. Vance saying that Renee Nicole Good was a domestic terrorist, and you had them backing Jonathan Ross. What did we also see? The federal government refused to work with Minnesota in collaboration in the investigation. And then months later, that investigation ceased to exist. In fact, Jonathan Ross is back at work. They put him in silently, back as an ICE agent. In comparison, in a police agency, what do we see? Whenever there's wrongdoing or someone's life is unjustly taken by a police officer, that officer is not defended by the President of the United States. That officer is not defended by any local official or federal official. They are held accountable. They are fired or put in prison. That is the difference that I'm saying here. Address what I said. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think I can agree with you that ICE agents have this massive out and pardon immediately that police officers don't. I
That's
think
what-
some
that's
police
what,
officers
but the
have
bald
got
guy
away
said.
with some slimy stuff over the years, and they've
That's what
gotten
the bald
away with
guy
it.
said. The white supremacist bald guy. I forget his name. What's his name?
I don't know who you're talking about, but nevertheless,
The
I
white
think
guy,
there's
the
definitely
bald
been
guy?
some police officers that escaped some consequences that they deserved. And for you to say that police officers don't escape consequences that they deserve from their own departments, from their own state leaders, governors, or even presidents is just a ridiculous thing to say. That's never happened across the history of police organizations, or even like frequently happened. That's completely ridiculous.
Stephen Miller. Sorry. Stephen Miller said that they have immunity.
I don't know who Stephen Miller is.
Stephen Miller is the one that plans all the immigration policies for the Trump administration. I don't know his exact title.
And Stephen Miller said that ICE officers
have immunity. Yes,
so they can do whatever they want. They can just shoot, kill whoever they want without any, needing to justify that.
He said they have there was a word before immunity. Do you want me to pull up the clip?
I'd love it. I'd love
Perfect. Sorry, I don't have good memory. That's my bad.
That's totally fine.
Let's see. I even forgot his name. I call him the white supremacist bald guy. Thank you for the corgi. Thank you so much for the roses as well. Give me a second here now. My computer is kind of slow, and I'll pull it up. Give me 1 second. First off, what's Stephen? What's his title? Trump administration official. Cool. That's his title. There we go. I found the clip.
You have federal immunity in the conduct of your duties. And anybody who lays it in the conduct of your duty, to all ICE officers, you have federal immunity in the conduct of your duties. And anybody who lays a hand on you, or tries to stop you, or tries to obstruct you.
Federal immunity.
So do you think that means that they can just go out on the streets and start opening fire right now and not be held accountable?
Yeah, what does federal immunity mean?
But hold on, just answer the question. Do you think that's what that means?
Do I think that ICE agents can? Yeah, that's what we saw them happen.
That's what that means.
Yeah, they shot 12 rounds into Alex Preddy while he was unarmed and on his back, or not on his back. He was on all fours and unarmed, and they put 12 rounds in his back, killing him. That's what they did to Renee Nicole Good, shooting 3 rounds in her face, unarmed. By the way, both civilians. So yes, I do. And guess what? Those both agents were not held accountable, and they were at least Jonathan Ross was put back on the job. So yeah, I do believe. Yes, I do believe that that's what that means, because that is what happened.
All right.
So you concede, right, that that's what Stephen Miller said, right?
No. Well, I mean, sure, he said federal immunity, but it doesn't mean that you can go out and do whatever you want.
Clearly, Jonathan Ross shot and killed Renee Nicole Good 3 times, 3 bullets. Federal agent shot and killed Alex Preddy, 12 rounds in the chest. He was unarmed. I'm just saying. Come back in the app, man. How's it going?
Hey, hey, how are you doing?
Hello?
Very good. How's it going? Do you wanna respond to what I said?
Me
or her?
No, you. I'm talking to you, the guest. This one.
There's 2 guests. Oh, me on the bottom.
Yeah,
okay.
you,
yes.
I'm a friend.
Okay. Anyway.
You gotta be in the app for me to hear you. You gotta see me for me to hear you.
Jeremiah.
What's up, Aaron? Oh, what's up?
Say hi to my boyfriend.
What's up? What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Let's see, what's your name? You gotta Nika. You gotta be in the app for me to hear you. You gotta see me for me to hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, you gotta be in the app for me to hear you. I can't hear you when you're out of the app.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay, so I just wanted to look up what this federal immunity statement means, and that's why I'm kind of bouncing in and out of the app.
No, you're good. If you want to do some research, take your time. I can bring up another guest.
Yeah, just give me one.
Yeah,
I got it up. I'm just gonna bounce out to read it again real quick, and then I'll be back.
You're good. If you guys support Trump, make sure to join up in the guest box. Share the live, repost the live, do all the wonderful things. If you're over on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. There's a poll running over on YouTube. Make sure to answer the question over there. And if you're, yeah, what's up?
How have the debates been going?
Pretty chill, pretty chill. Got some
Yeah.
pretty lengthy debates. Yeah, pretty chill.
When did you get on?
A couple hours ago. 5:36.
My
What's
time?
up, Aaron? No, my time. 6 my time.
Okay, so like an hour ago?
2 hours ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was distracted.
Oh, you're good. You're good. You guys, if you support Trump, join up in the guest box. I'd love to talk to you. Love to have a debate.
All right,
Love to have a
I
conversation.
got it.
What's up? Yeah, what's up? What's up?
Okay, so federal immunity basically is the distinction between a Fed's authority versus a state police officer's authority, or a state peace officer's authority, rather. So when ICE shows up, they are a higher level of authority than a police officer is, which means that as long as they're acting within the law and they're carrying out the law, a police officer cannot intervene because they're on the state level with a federal officers. It's the same as the relationship between the FBI and the state police. If the FBI is conducting their business and the state police show up, the state police cannot take over their investigation. That's what federal immunity is. It's the distinction between who has authority when there's a clash between interests of state police and federal police. It has absolutely nothing to do with being immune to the law or the law not applying to you.
Give me a second here. Yeah, you said if they're following within the law, I would just have to disagree with you there because in 2025 they passed a memorandum. ICE Immigration Customs Enforcement passed a memorandum saying that ICE agents can go into people's houses without warrants. So it's going to be a violation of the Fourth Amendment. So that's a premise I would disagree with you there.
That's so well. Now you're saying you're not saying that it violates the law necessarily. You're saying that it's against the Constitution, which I guess I can see what you're saying.
Law, yes.
But nevertheless, if a bill has been passed, then that makes it legal. I mean, okay. So here's the comparison here's a comparison I can make for you for that. We have freedom of speech. It's in the Constitution. But that being said, there's some things that you can't say. True or not true? True.
Sure. If
yes,
you're
that's true.
If there's like any harm
we have freedom of speech, but there's some things that you can't say. So does that mean that you don't support any of those laws against uttering threats and things like that?
No. That's
okay.
Because
so,
under this proposition, the Fourth Amendment says that you do need probable cause or a warrant in order to enter someone's property or do any researches.
Yeah, but ICE
the Fourth Amendment also talks about like reasonable force or not unreasonable.
But even then, ICE can't just start walking into random houses randomly.
In accordance with the memorandum that they passed within the ICE department, yes, they can.
No, I think that's based on probable cause.
In 2025.
Meaning that with probable cause,
they don't need probable cause.
Without.
Okay, they don't need probable cause or a warrant because under the Constitution, you need probable cause or a warrant signed by a judge.
Let's pull up the memorandum and let's see what it says.
I got you. Give me a second here. Give me a second. Make sure you guys pass. Make sure you guys share the live, repost live, do all the wonderful things. Let's see, I believe this is in summer of 2025. Let's see. Let's see. The Washington Post, does that work for you?
Well, I mean, why can't we just look at the actual memorandum itself? I mean, sure, if it's easier, you can just read the Washington Post. I don't know why we can't see like the memorandum itself, though. I mean, how big is it? I mean, just go with whatever.
I don't think the full memorandum is public. It's a leaked internal ICE memo. So let's see. I can just give you sources that talk about this leaked internal memo. Does that work for you? You can.
Oh, wait,
work it?
wait. So this is a leaked. So this is wait. So this is okay. This is a leaked internal memo. That's what
Yeah.
this is.
That acting Attorney General Todd Blanche signed. Yes.
Okay. Well, this sounds like something that perhaps could be a real discussion if this was something that was passed, but this isn't passed.
Yeah. According you have let's see. I don't know. Well, I also have the Washington Post. I have NBC. Washington Post's titles.
Just pick whatever one you want, and let's read
Yeah,
what
I
it
mean, I don't
says.
know if NBC is NBC, is that left leaning or right?
I don't even care. You can pick your left leaning one. I don't even care.
I mean, I don't want to give you a biased source. Centrist or left leaning. Looks like ICE says its officers can forcibly enter homes during immigration operations without judicial warrants. 2025 memo. A May 2025 internal immigration customs enforcement document shows that the agency told officers and agents that they can forcibly enter homes with people subject to deportation without a warrant signed by a judge. The memo dated May 12th, which reads that it is from ICE acting director not Todd Blanche, I'm so sorry, Todd Loins. Again, I butcher names, I forget names. Todd Loins was shared with the U.S. Senator Richard Blumenthal, Democratic senator, by two whistleblowers. It says that ICE agents are allowed to forcibly enter the home of a person using an administrative warrant if a judge has issued, quote, a final order of removal. Administrative warrants permits officers and agents to make arrests and are different from judicial warrants, which a judge signs allowing entry into a home.
So I think I didn't quite catch what you said in your last 3 lines there.
It says that ICE agents are allowed to forcefully enter the home of a person using an administrative warrant if a judge has issued a, quote, final order of removal, end quote. Administrative warrants permit officers and agents to make arrests and are different from judicial warrants, which a judge signs allowing entry into a home.
Okay, so what more do you need? I mean, they're having a warrant for that person's arrest. So you're saying you want a distinct warrant to enter the home.
According to the Constitution, it needs to be a judge-signed warrant. It can't be an administrative warrant. There's a difference between a judicial warrant and an administrative warrant. There's a difference between those two. ICE can use an administrative warrant in order to trick people. That's legal. But when you say that an administrative warrant allows you to go into the home, even if they say no, because then it's an administrative warrant, that's against the Constitution, because according to the Constitution, it needs to be a warrant signed by a judge. But this memo says
and these judicial warrants are not signed by judges, or these administrative warrants, are not signed by judges.
They're not. Yeah, they're signed by ICE, right? Yeah.
They're signed by ICE themselves. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. So that hasn't gone before a judge at all.
Right. They didn't go to a judge to get the judicial warrant to allow them to enter the premises or do the search that they need to. Correct.
Yeah.
Which is against the Constitution.
Yeah. Well, I need to think about that. I guess that's a pretty.
I appreciate you for being open-minded. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I guess that's a big area. I mean, I don't know if I just want them if they were chasing somebody and that person went in their house, then I would be just pop in, But
Right.
if they're just going to be busting down doors, man, that's a little much.
Right.
Busting down
I mean,
doors.
there are instances of where they are busting down doors. I mean, saw a video that the New York Times posted. It was after a raid in a car wash in Los Angeles or California, I believe. And because that person was here legally, or I don't know if they were here legally, but they ended up going to the house of the person that they had detained, and they blew up the door. Quite literally blew up the door.
Damn. Yeah, no, that's a little much. It's a little outside of my comfort. I mean, I speculate that the reason that this is as it is because the numbers of illegal immigration is so high, and if they had to have everything signed by a judge, it would backlog things years and years ahead. So they're trying to.
I support mass amnesty, and I support Harris because she would have funded more immigration courts and more immigration judges, and mass amnesty is more preferable than mass deportation.
Yeah, but see, I also think it's a more Democrat idea that the amount of money that it takes to deport everybody isn't worth the amount of money. So I don't really
It's
think
not
that
worth the amount
actually
of
would
money
happen.
because there are negative effects that comes with mass deportation. We lose 1.1 trillion, 1.1 to 1.7 trillion dollars into our GDP. We lose $100 billion in taxes, 22 billion in Social Security, 6 billion in Medicaid. We lose all that. We lose 8 million unauthorized workers.
So then why would Harris do what you're saying Harris said she would do by investing
No,
all that extra
what
money
Biden
into
and
the
Harris
judges?
tried to do was fund more immigration courts and judges to incentivize legal migration. What I am more far left than Harris. I want to do mass amnesty. I want to do what Biden and Harris tried to do, was to fund more immigration judges and courts, right, to fix the core issue, to incentivize legal migration compared to illegal migration. But I want to go one step further and do mass amnesty. Harris wasn't going to do mass amnesty.
I don't think immigration judges have anything to do with processing legal immigration.
Well, the thing is, the reason why it takes, the reason why people choose to come in here illegally is because it takes too long and it's too expensive. Yes.
I mean, most likely,
main
but
reason.
that
Yeah,
has
that's the
nothing to
main
do
reason.
with immigration judges. You can have all the immigration judges in the world you want. Immigration judges don't make decisions on people whether they get visas administered or not, or green cards.
Right, but they look at cases in terms of people trying to come into the country legally.
Immigration judges don't do that. Those are immigration officers.
Yeah, okay, that's what I meant. I misspoke. Then immigration courts and immigration officers, if that's
No, it's not even an immigration courts thing. Yeah, you're suggesting that Kamala wanted to increase funding in the sorry, I'm missing my words here. Nevertheless, the area that you're suggesting they would put the funding in is regarding the enforcement and the deportation and
no.
legal
That's not.
issues.
That's not what. No. I'm not saying. I'm saying that the funding more courts and judges or officers in terms of immigration would significantly make the legal process better compared to the illegal process. We're not talking about deporting. We're talking about the legal process right now.
Well, okay. Then you'd have to revise what you said, and that they weren't looking at, well, maybe they also were looking at immigration judges and immigration courts, but they were looking at immigration officers specifically. And
For
hiring
legal
more
for legal
immigration
entry and
officers.
to make the process faster, yeah.
Okay, in order to process applications.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe, maybe I
you seem to be a
misspoke.
little unsure if that was actually their intention or not, because a second ago you're saying judges, and now we've had to revise it to officers.
Right, yeah,
So
I
don't know.
misspoke and said judges, meant officers.
I don't think you misspoke, because I had to come at it a few times and correct
Right, and
you
I
on
when
whether
the first
immigration
time you
judges
mentioned officers, I
participate in
said
that.
sure. I said yeah. The point
Yeah.
is here, Harris wasn't going to do mass amnesty either way, so I'm going to be more far left than Harris. But I still think Harris would have been more preferable, because she wouldn't have done mass deportation. She would have focused on the violent or bad criminals. According to DHS ICE statistics, only 5 to 7% of those detained in the fiscal year of 2025 have been violent criminals or have a violent criminal record.
Oh well,
I support
see,
deporting violent criminals.
but
Harris
you
would
see
have done
why
that at
those
a greater
those stats can have issues.
because because the Trump administration is mostly going after undocumented immigrants with no violent past.
No, that's because you don't know. That's the thing about undocumented immigrants. You don't know what their past is, even if you're able to identify them, because the reason why you need to get a visa to come to the United States is because many countries that require visas don't have information sharing. So,
But
if
this
you
would be
apply
true
to-
under Obama, Biden, and Trump. But under Obama and Biden, there were more violent criminals deported. So let's say I grant you to be true that they're here undocumented, so we don't know when they commit any violent crime. Well, still, under Obama and Biden, more violent criminals were deported than under Donald Trump.
Yes, but I'm challenging the stats and the legitimacy of the stats, because you don't know whether an undocumented
Well, that's
immigrant
according
is
to
violent.
ICE. That's literally
Unless-
the most far right source
I know,
could give you.
I know. But what I'm saying is, even then, once they find an undocumented immigrant, even if they're able to identify them, they won't know if they have a criminal record or not, due to lack of information sharing from visa required countries, which is why a visa is required.
And not everyone's here on a visa. I mean,
From
if
visa
they're here,
everybody from visa required countries is here on a visa.
right, we're not talking about people here. Like you're saying, people who overstay their visas.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Most undocumented immigrants are coming from visa required countries.
Oh yeah, I
They're
understand
not
what you're
coming
saying.
from
Yes,
Canada.
yes.
They're not coming from Canada and Switzerland.
Yes.
Now, if say somebody came from Canada and they were living illegally in the United States and they were a felon, like they were, they were a violent criminal. Upon being caught and identified, the United States would have the resources to know that because of information sharing with Canada, and that would go in the stats. However, if somebody comes from a visa-required country, usually there's not any information sharing, which is why the visa is required. The reason why the visas exist is because in order to get one, you have to go to your local police department, get a criminal background check, and submit that within your application. So if you find somebody from a visa-required country and you're even able to identify them, which you may or may not be, even then, you still won't have the resources to know if they're a violent criminal or not.
Right. I mean, I think that I can agree with you here to an extent. I agree that these are going to be estimates in terms of the like statistics that they provide us. But I think even if we take a look at these estimates, it's still going to be at a lower level. Because you can agree, like if we widen the scope, if we widen the scope and try to go for any undocumented immigrant, it is going to be the case that we deport less violent criminals compared to if we focus on violent criminals, we're going to be deporting more violent criminals, correct?
I think as a percentage, you'll see that a higher percentage of deportees, if you're focusing on violent criminals, is higher. But if you're just doing mass deportation, I'd imagine you'd get more violent criminals out as well. So like
if you focus on violent criminals?
If the ICE stats, so let's say the ICE stats, just using hypothetical numbers, let's say that with Democrats, it's at like 10% of deportees are violent criminals. And then with under the Trump administration, say that it's 5. But if the Trump administration deports 5 million people and the Biden administration or Harris administration deports 500,000 people, then of course more violent criminals are going to be deported with the Trump administration than with the Biden.
Sure, well, we know Obama did deport more than Trump, and so did Biden. But listen, man, is there any other points that you wanted to bring up before I probably end this stream? They've been on.
I mean, that's probably it. This was a good one.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming up here. You take care. Have a great night.
Bye-bye.
Y'all, thank you for the follow. Yeah, that was a pretty decent debate, I'd say. Pretty decent debate. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up.